I'm starting. I just unmuted us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Supposedly, I just.
Welcome.
There's
so many people here.
Please come join us.
You don't have to start by being sarcastic.
Do you want us
Okay,
to
hold
keep
on. I don't know
bragging
if
on
I just
Should we
started.
keep bragging on him?
I'm so
And
glad.
how many
think I
times did
started.
he
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to
I
Director of
started.
the Year?
I think it was.
5 in a row, maybe?
Was it 5 in a row?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay,
What
well,
a resource we have.
whoever is here, both physically or virtually, today's about, really it's not, it's called Smartboard, but it's about using your Interactive Smartboard and your Interactive Smartboard software. It really isn't about Smart per se, although I'm going to be using Smart in this, but you could use the Mimeo stuff, you could use any interactive software and get to the same place. I measure resolution turned down so that some things may look small, like my buttons right now are kind of smaller than normal, but they're all there and stuff. But it kind of gives me a little more space on my desktop when I'm doing stuff. So I apologize if I made that too small. So today really I want to talk about Smart in general, interactive software in general, and then obviously answer specific questions and stuff. So I talked about how it can save you time and make you, in my opinion, a better teacher. One of the things that I have done over the years, and this isn't a first year thing, it's a evolution, but just like we go and work on our lesson plans and work on our objectives and stuff, I save all those files, and you can see some of these files are really, really old because they've evolved from when I started in 2010 to now, and so every year it lets me tweak when I'm teaching, and it really lets me build my lesson plan. So, for instance, we're in Chapter 2 of my class right now. The start of it says Chapter 2, 2019, and I've already gone through, prior to starting this section, and decided on, I'm gonna close this. I'm on, I don't know, the wrong screen? How did I do that?
As I say, you must have thrown it to the other screen.
I don't even know how I would do that. Here we go. I don't know how that happened. And then I brought OBS Studio over here, which is
There you
too. So that when I start my class, I've already got my daily exercise stuff, and as I'm going through my lessons in my chapter, and this one's originally built off of the textbook I got, so those people that already are like, oh, I've already got stuff on a PowerPoint, well, I changed my PowerPoint into Smart so that as I've gone through the years, the pictures are different. If we go through some of the slides, you'll see the text looks like it changed because basically I'm like, okay, that's still true, but I wanted to change the wording on something. And so when I start the new year, I've already got a basis of what I want to do, and I've already got my beginning of class exercises set up, and I've got screen captures in Moodle, which I have to redo every year because I've changed the theme or something. But it's a starting point, right? And not only is this a starting point for my instruction, it gives me a place to save, to export. I'm really talking about the overall why I think it's good, okay? So for instance, at the end of my class, every single day now, when I finish my class, not only am I using my Smartboard to capture the class itself and the instruction that I gave, so in my class, I'm capturing Smart. I'm using the Smart Notebook software to capture the audio and the visual, but I also then can export my class notes so my kids have all the class notes we went through for that class period, anything I wrote down during the class period and talk about. So it gives me a way to know where I was last class, to save notes for my kids, and I consider that part of what I call digital UDL. Trying to get to all my kids, and I couldn't do any of that without using Interactive Whiteboard software. It's irrelevant that this is posted on Moodle. I could, if we were a Google school that used Google Classroom, you could do the same thing with Google Classroom and post it there. Yeah. And I have some people when I go to sessions, they're like, yeah, but we don't have Moodle. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. It's just a calendar. You could do the same thing in any calendar and put those links on. So I think that as you start to use Smart and you build kind of your lesson plans onto it, it gives you the ability to improve every year and give you a starting point of, hey, this is what I did last year. and obviously this is already what I did this year, but before I get to chapter 3, I'm going to go through that, I'm going to update pictures, I'm going to update screenshots, and expand where I'm like, I didn't cover this well, which is one of the nice things on Moodle that I look at how are my trends on the test, where was I weak last year, where do I need to spend more time at, so I might add that there. So I guess I want to close this and talk about one other thing before we get into the notebook file itself. If you've already got PowerPoints that you use in your class, like my textbook came with these textbook PowerPoints, and I want to say I've got this one, and this one's relatively outdated, but let's say I've got this PowerPoint that, again, this is my primary screen. Why do things keep opening on the other screen? Okay, so I've got this PowerPoint that I want to use as a starting point for SMART. I've got this to start off with, and I can improve upon it, or just use it if I'm a social studies teacher and I've already got that stuff. All I have to do to change this into SMART is to go File, Print, and one of the printers that we have is Smart Notebook Document Writer. I go down here to the bottom, and I say Print. Now.
Use that all the time.
62 pages.
Yeah, it's in it. You can see it's going through all the pages down here at the bottom, and now it's going to open up Smart Notebook. Okay, so this is new for the newer versions. Do you want these to be images or editable objects that go over there? My experience is I want images.
Yes.
Right.
If I say images, I get exactly what I saw in the PowerPoint,
Right.
Yeah.
but I can't edit it.
Right.
If I say editable objects, it might be jabberwockied all over the place. So maybe I want to do both and then grab the pieces that I like better, but I find if I just say make them images, it's pretty darn close. There's a little bit of tweaking because for some reason this never goes up in the top left corner, and I slide it up and lock it and kind of thing. And okay, so it's just made that whole PowerPoint into this Smart Notebook. And like I was saying, now here's I got you on Smart. If I grab my pen and start writing, I might drag this around. So I always I start by dragging it. I'll go through the whole thing and hit Control K, and that locks it. Now I can't move it. So I go through when I start by modifying ones, and I just do that to just put them in the top corner. You can easily see that they're kind of shrunk a little bit, right? So that's what I do, and I only point that out in the beginning because I've had so many teachers say, I've already got all this stuff done in PowerPoint, why would I do that? And the why to me is because because I can interact with it, right? When I'm teaching my class, as I'm teaching my class, this is what we're going to introduce in this section today, and now all of a sudden I've got to the point where I can write, and I can change colors, and I can highlight things if I want to, and as I'm talking and I want to expand on this particular topic, I can just hit new page, and I can write new stuff here, and all the students will be able to get those notes when I'm done just by saving it as a PowerPoint way.
Well, also the students can interact because when I go to the gallery, I can pull up interactive.
Okay, we're going to get there too, but there's all kinds of, when I talk about okay, here's my example. Okay, I'm going to talk about electricity in this section. Now, if I'm at the point where I talk about electricity, I can just do a new page, and I could go to the pictures, and right now I could type in electricity. And okay, and I can hit search, and I can find, in this case, I don't know how many, 100 plus things. So pictures related to electricity are right there, and I might have interactive things I can do with electricity. I don't even know what that's going to be. What's that interactive? Click on the spot to see the switches. See what our interactive activity is. Ooh, look, the related switch. It's got a read switch.
That's what I use, the interactive, so the kids can use
Look,
it.
ooh, the switch get turned when that thieves always wear striped shirts.
That's right. Robbers always
wear striped shirts. Ooh, look, if he comes walking in my house,
it's
then
a pressure switch.
I'll know he did, and then boom, I ruined my whole house and it explodes. Why do I have a Coke machine in my house?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
If I tilt
If I tilt
my Coke machine
oh
in
no!
my house.
Oh, no.
Anyways, my point is, which obviously you get, is that there are all these interactive things that I can do, but it's not about those things to me, because I don't use those that much. I have
use
my
them.
own set of content that I save, and so if I was to go to chapter 3 when I talk about power, I can go and say, when I'm talking about a power supply, I don't have to grab a power supply. I've already got pictures of power supplies that I could drag from and show them different kind of power supplies and what the connectors look like and stuff, because I've saved those pictures over the year and I've put them in my gallery so that I've got those things. Now, that doesn't apply to everybody. Not everybody uses graphics. I think you should, because I think that's one more way kids learn. But my point is that I used to spend time searching on Google to go out and find something, and then I realized that once I add it here, like if I was to do exactly that, I went out to Google and I said I wanted a power supply picture. Power supply. Because I wanted to have a current power supply picture, and I really like, this is a good power supply. That's one of my favorite ones, I'm just saying. And I go and drop that into Smart Notebook because I'm going to use that as a talking point in my class. And I'm going to talk about the RX 750 and why that's a good power supply. If I want to save that for later, all I have to do is hold on. I have to, by the way, if I'm doing that, I have to undo auto hide. And now if I drag that over there we go. If I drag that over there, it just went into my thing, and I can call a RX 750 in here for the name PSU. So now if I search for PSU, that's one of the pictures that'll come up, and next year I can pull that out while I'm working, as opposed to having to have something set up. So it gives me a way to find stuff really easily. And obviously it gives me a whiteboard that I can write on, I could talk on, I can use it just like I would any other whiteboard. And obviously if I had my smart slate, I could use that, or if I have a smart board, I can pick up the pens, I can easily change colors, and as soon as I'm done and I need a new page, boom, I'm on a new page done cleaned. I don't have to go, and if in the case of your class, if it's a math class and we need to go back, I can just go hit the back arrow. You can't hit the back arrow on a dry erase board. You can't hit the back arrow on a chalkboard. As soon as I've erased that, we have moved on. And how many times does a kid go, it took him a minute or two to put his hand up, and you just erased the problem that he now has a question on.
Right.
And if you're using Smartboard, you just you just go back, and now, remember I said we were talking about these, but I said we're not covering ohms in our class.
I don't know why you wouldn't use it.
Now, I don't either,
It's
but there's a lot of people who still are like, you know what, I'll use my Smartboard when I get good at it. I've heard that so many times. And there's no way to get good at it without using it.
Right.
There isn't. Period.
Right.
Yeah, am I going to make a mistake? Yeah, I'm going to make a mistake. Does it matter if I make a mistake? No, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake.
For a Smartboard, I used it
What?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking that was a
DDR,
good name
right?
for it.
So, now you're being silly. Well, it
that
says
has-
DRAM because there's
That has two notches.
There you go. And typically DDR is also SDRAM, but people don't call it SDRAM. Anyway, so I think that is helpful too, teaching later. But the biggest thing is just saving
Pardon the
money.
interruption. Anybody in the building, they're going to be doing some fire alarm tests here momentarily. It is just a test. It will go off a couple times, so no need to be alarmed. Thank you.
No pun intended.
Good to
And
know.
you can do I haven't tried it with the new version to see if my thing works
Oh.
and see if my family view works anymore. So yeah.
Yeah.
Facts about bias. But I have to have a cheat sheet, so when they answer it, I have like the teams against each other,
how many
and they
points?
come up and they have to slap it on the desk, and
Yeah.
then I have to look up here, and then they're like, oh, you got
Which
that.
one they click?
Does your family want to keep it or pass it? And I
Yeah.
haven't passed the other side, and then they have to try to. And then if I hit the little, oh, and I got a timer down here, so you know, I have the little arrows, which you can do in PowerPoint too.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it's fun. It's like a summative, formative type deal that the kids enjoy doing.
So after you turn it off, I'll have you go to my mood. I'll show you what that's all
Okay.
I've done.
Do you guys have any other questions?
I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Do you need to check online, see if there was
I
a chat?
wait. I have to look over. To the computer because I couldn't bring it up on this screen.
Dan was always the one that talked about that.
Yeah, I know. I don't have Dan
I know,
here
don't have Dan.
to be online on the chat and see.
Is there anybody on the
We're
chat
gonna
line?
have to turn Jonathan into
Nobody's on the chat line.
the new Dan.
No.
I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if I kept the YouTube channel open. I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
And I really need a.
Yeah, I can see.
Where am I at?
So you can see if it's being watched or no.
What? Yeah, I can see as
Yeah.
soon as it comes up here whether anybody's online. And if they don't say anything, I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Let's see, live. It says there's one person watching now. I don't know whether I count on that
Alright.
number or not. I may not count.
Sounds good.
At least I'm hoping I don't count on that. Numbers. Oh, and I switched it to computer hardware from my. What's it doing? Oh, I don't know whether it was sound the whole time.
Where's your microphone?
It's over there, but I have a hotkey somewhere using F7's causing it to mute, and it's not supposed to mute on F7. It's supposed to unmute on F7. So I must have. Anyway, well, I can stop it now because there's nobody else here.
I was
So
gonna say I recorded something earlier, but my volume was